For 3 straight days, a brown Labrador sat at the corner bus stop on Maple Avenue in a quiet Ohio town. Rain fell in waves. School buses came and went. Office workers rushed past with coffee cups and tired eyes. But the dog never shifted more than a few inches. He faced the road, watching, waiting. Daniel Carter noticed on the first morning. He had driven Route 22 for 11 years. He noticed patterns. He noticed absences. After losing his younger brother in a car accident years ago, he had developed a habit of paying attention to things other people ignored. On Monday, he assumed the dog belonged to someone nearby. On Tuesday, he slowed the bus. On Wednesday, in heavy rain, the dog was still there. Same spot, same direction. Watching every bus door that opened. On Thursday morning, something changed. As Daniel's bus approached, the dog stood up. Not excited, not aggressive, expectant. Daniel opened the doors. Passengers stepped down one by one. The dog studied each face carefully, then slowly sat back down. That was when Daniel knew. The dog wasn't lost. He was waiting. Before we continue, tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and if the story moves you, leave a like and hit the subscribe button for more stories. Now let's continue. That afternoon, Daniel brought water and food. Up close, he noticed the collar. Faded blue leather. No tag. But tied around it was a torn strip of red and white fabric. The dog drank carefully, but kept glancing toward the road, like he couldn't risk missing something. Friday morning, the dog ran after the bus. Chased it. Daniel slammed the brakes. The dog reached the door and just sat there, staring inside. On passengers whispered. Someone recorded on their phone. Daniel reported it that night. Officer Ryan Mitchell pulled nearby traffic footage. 3 days earlier, a silver sedan stopped at the bus stop. A man stepped out, opened the passenger door. The dog jumped out happily. Then the man pushed him away, got back inside, and drove off. The dog ran after the car, then returned to the bench, and sat. When Ryan zoomed in further, something else appeared in the back seat. A child's car seat, partially covered by a blanket. Dark stains on the fabric. The license plate belonged to Michael Reynolds. Reported missing 2 days earlier. No mention of a child. No mention of a dog. The next morning the sedan was found abandoned. Cleaned. Too clean. Michael's 6-year-old son, Ethan Reynolds, was located later that night inside an abandoned warehouse half a mile from the bus stop. Lucky, that was the dog's name, had led them there. The boy was dehydrated, but alive. Dad left, Ethan whispered, but Lucky stayed. 2 days later, divers found Michael's body in a quarry lake. Blunt force trauma, not random, not accidental. Murder. Michael had withdrawn nearly $50,000 in structured cash payments before his death. Victor Hale, his former business partner, had been in a civil lawsuit with him. Financial disputes, fraud allegations. Then Ethan began having nightmares. He didn't like Lucky, he whispered once. Who? Daniel asked. The man Dad yelled at. Then someone tried to reach Ethan inside the hospital. A man with a syringe. Lucky attacked him before he could inject anything. The intruder had no ID, but stitched into his jacket lining was an active tracking device. Someone was monitoring. Someone was orchestrating. Then Daniel received a call. You should have left the dog at the bus stop. The conspiracy widened. Victor Hale denied everything. But financial analysis revealed layered shell payments. And something else surfaced. The failed land deal Michael had been fighting over. It wasn't about money. It was about contaminated property, illegal dumping, suppressed environmental reports, city-level approvals, and someone inside the police department had been protecting it. Ryan discovered that the 911 call reporting arguing near Maple Avenue the night Michael disappeared had been manually cancelled by Lieutenant Mark Ellison. 22 years on the force. Clean record. Untouchable. Ellison had also downplayed Michael's disappearance. He redirected patrol units that night and had override access to the hospital power grid the evening Ethan was nearly abducted. When Ryan reviewed hospital corridor footage frame by frame, he caught a brief reflection on the intruder's belt. A polished badge clip. Department issue. Ethan finally said the words that confirmed it. He wore a badge. Ryan leaked false information internally, that Ethan had remembered a specific name. Only command-level officers could see that update. Within hours, Daniel received another warning call. The trace led to the police department parking structure. Ryan confronted Ellison. The lieutenant didn't deny involvement. He deflected. You think Hale's the villain? Hale's just money. This was bigger. The land Michael tried to expose had been used for illegal toxic dumping tied to multiple city contracts. If exposed, it would implicate contractors, officials, and internal law enforcement. Michael had discovered documentation. He threatened to reveal it. Ellison ensured he wouldn't. Victor Hale funded the cover. Aaron Pike handled logistics. Ellison controlled response and suppression. The plan had been simple. Eliminate Michael, intimidate the child, remove loose ends, the dog wasn't accounted for. Lucky waited at the bus stop because that was the last place Michael stood alive. He waited because he associated buses with people, with help, with witnesses, and eventually, someone paid attention. Ellison attempted to flee after confrontation in the parking garage. Daniel blocked the exit with his truck. The collision ended the chase. Internal affairs cracked open sealed accounts. Payments flowed through shell corporations. Federal investigators stepped in. Victor Hale was arrested attempting to board a chartered flight. Aaron Pike was captured 2 counties away. The contaminated site was sealed. Charges stacked. Media storm followed. Weeks later, Ethan relocated to live with relatives. Lucky never left his side. The bus stop on Maple Avenue returned to quiet. No dog, no silver sedan, just a bench under a streetlight. Daniel still drove Route 22. But sometimes, as he slowed near that corner, he remembered the first day. The dog sitting in the rain, refusing to move, refusing to give up. Because sometimes the smallest witness carries the biggest truth. And sometimes justice doesn't begin with detectives. It begins with loyalty. And a dog who refused to leave. If you saw that dog waiting at the bus stop, would you have stopped to help?